Richard Justice with MLB.com with Armen and Levack on 104.5 The Team, your home for New York sports. Richard, thanks for your time today. And we had Buster Olney on yesterday, and he wrote a column this week and suggesting that Alex Rodriguez would make a good manager for the Miami Marlins next season. Your thoughts on Alex Rodriguez? Could he be a manager in Major League Baseball?
I wouldn't think so. I mean, his managing in 2015, 2016 is more than anything else about people skills. It's about dealing with people, because we're in an era of baseball when your front office can supply you with help with lineups, with pitching matchups, defensive alignments, and all that. What the manager has to do is sell it, and A-Rod's people skills haven't been the best. I mean, to me, this season is about this guy's trying to put a dignified ending on his career, and to me, it's just about he had a year to rest his body, recover from 2 hip surgeries. It's really remarkable what he's done, and just to see how far he and the Yankees can go.
Richard Justice of MLB.com with Armen and Levack at Richard Justice on Twitter. And Richard, absolutely, with the way you mentioned his people skills, his public perception took a beating, obviously, over the last year heading into this season. What have you heard about Alex Rodriguez and in the clubhouse and how he treats teammates? We've always heard positive things, but you're obviously on the inside. What's the vibe you hear of Alex Rodriguez within an organization and in the clubhouse?
I mean, for a lot of his career, he wasn't liked by teammates. I mean, it was pretty bizarre, and I don't know, since I wasn't part of the team, it would be hard for me to understand. But I know right now that he's doing his best to do everything the right way, and I think he's sort of become a mentor for some of those young guys. And in terms of work ethic, I mean, if you're a young player, all you have to do is look at the way he approaches the bats, the way he approaches the day's work, and all that. And you can learn a lot by the way Alex Rodriguez does business. He's had a complicated career. I first met him, or saw him really. I didn't think I met him when he was 18, about to be the number 1 pick in the draft. And Johnny Oates, manager of the Orioles at the time, arranged for Alex to come to Fort Lauderdale and to meet Cal Ripken, who was his hero, because Cal was another big shortstop. And at the time, there were scouts that had done this thing their whole life, evaluated players their whole lives, say they'd never seen a player that was more gifted than Alex. They put him with Ken Griffey, with Barry Bonds, guys like that. So, probably he's obviously made some mistakes along the way, but this season you really couldn't ask for more of him.
Richard, Josh Hamilton back in Arlington for the first time, hits a double. He goes 2 for 4 with an RBI. What are the Rangers' expectations of Hamilton throughout the year?
They have no expectations. It's a very small financial commitment, but they are going to put him in an environment in which he might be the most popular player that franchise has ever had. His story, his battles of addiction resonated with fans. He would have fans come up and gather around him, ask for his autograph the way fans do, except there was always 1 or 2 people in the group that wanted to tell him about their spouse or their son or daughter or themselves, about how he had inspired them. And he was there. He had his best 5 years when the Rangers were having their best 5 years, 3 playoff appearances, 2 American League pennants. So if there's any atmosphere that would be right for Josh to get back to what he once was, this is it, But his body's endured a lot, and we don't know. He got off to a good start last night. It was a feel-good moment there in the first inning. We got the double. So we'll just see where he goes from there, see if his body can hold up.
Richard, when you look at the first-place teams in the American League, which one's most surprising to you, the Yankees, the Twins being in there with the Royals, or the Astros?
The Astros and Twins are both shocking. And the Astros have been doing a full-scale rebuild. And right now, what they have, it's pretty simple. They play great defense. They had the worst bullpen in baseball last year. They have one of the best this year in their offense and offensively. They hit home runs. They strike out. They walk. Pretty efficient way to do business. They have a young guy, George Springer, in right field. He's one of the most dynamic young players in the game. He's going to be a superstar. They're hoping to have their 20-year-old shortstop, Carlos Correa, the first pick of the 2012 draft, hoping to have him in the big leagues within a few days. He's struggling a little bit at AAA. They want to get him on a good roll and then get him up. Fun team to watch, and they got a good vibe going. The Twins are doing it with starting pitching. Their starting pitching is almost twice as good as it was a year ago, and it's pretty much what Terry Ryan aimed for when he returned as general manager after the 2011 season. Torrey Hunter's been an unbelievable addition to the clubhouse, being an example for those guys. And like the Astros, Twins have a lot of kids in the minor leagues, so both those teams may have some staying power.
Richard Justice of MLB.com. It's funny, the Astros, we're so used to, they're the Lastros. I mean, they've been the laughingstock for so long, Richard. With them doing so well at this point in the season, should we expect them to be at this competitive level for the rest of this year?
I just don't know if it's sustainable. I think in both the AL East and the AL West, you look at the landscape of the division. The Rangers got off to a terrible start, 7-15, and now they're looking around saying, hey, we're good enough to win, because the Angels have had a terrible struggle offensively. Seattle hasn't gotten the pitching it thought it would get. So Oakland hasn't been good at all. So who knows what it is? Is it sustainable? I think the way the Astros look at it is, yes, we're ahead of schedule, but you only have so many chances, when you can win. So you go for it. So if the standings still dictate it in July, they're going to be a player for Cole Hamels or whatever starting Scott Kazmir, whatever starting pitcher is out there, because a season like this is an opportunity, and you don't know when you're going to get another one. And they do have the depth in their farm system to make a deal for almost any of those guys.
See, Richard, that hurts me, because we have their short A affiliate, the Valley Cats, right here, and they've been great because the Astros have been so bad. So you're telling me I can start expecting not so great baseball locally?
No, I wouldn't tell you that, because when Jeff Luhnow, the general manager, was in charge of the Cardinals over about a 4-year period, he drafted 50 major leaguers. And some of those players, like Alan Craig and Matt Carpenter, came in lower rounds of the draft. So, the lifeblood of an organization is good drafts, and no one has been better than Jeff Luhnow in baseball at this. So the point is, you still, no matter if you're picking first or you're picking 30th, you still have to be good. And in the real good baseball organizations are rewarded in the 3rd, 10th round, 12th round, finding those guys. So hopefully there'll still be a pipeline of players coming through there.
All right.
Hot damn. Richard Justice of MLB.com, at Richard Justice on Twitter. Richard, thank you so much for your time today. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll catch up with you again in the future.
Thank you.